Here's a quick post about a guy who handled things just right by immediately dumping his fiancée upon finding out that she's been talking to this guy that she used to be friends with and fool around with in her past, and neglected to mention that she's actually with this guy and getting married. And boom, he's done with her. And of course, she doesn't take that too well. And that'd be a great one to go over here, guys, making the point that if you find out that your girlfriend or your fiance or wife is talking to other guys, doesn't mention she's married or with you, and had a thing with him in the past, you need to handle it accordingly, because otherwise it ain't going to end too well. And oh yeah, guys, once a cheater, always a cheater. You're also going to find out in the story that she has a history of cheating, and yet this guy's with her, and that's a big giant mistake. And you find out that your girlfriend cheated on previous boyfriends, or she was married husband, guaranteed she's going to do it to you when she feels justified because her needs aren't being met or something that she could justify in her psychotic mind. Dump her immediately, otherwise it will happen to you. Titled, Am I Overreacting That My Fiancé Was Wrong to Talk to a Guy Who She Cheated on Before? And a shout out to Marcus for sending this in. He says, okay, I need some advice. My fiancé was married before years ago. The marriage ended because she cheated with this guy who she was friends with from high school. Well, it says everything you need to know about her, and he's with her. Come on. She lived in New Orleans and traveled to Ohio to be with this guy. That happened about 6 years ago. For context here, we've been engaged for 8 months, almost 2 years together. Smack! Are you nuts? Now, he clarifies in the comment section that they were together for 2 years, then became engaged after the 2-year mark. Well, that's still too soon, and, well, you'll see why. And it had been going tremendously well. Today at dinner, she told me she talked to the guy in Ohio. You mean the same guy that she was cheating on with her previous husband? I asked her if she at least mentioned that she had a fiancé and that she's getting married, and she said, "Oh, it didn't come up," and she didn't have the need to tell him. What the? Is she nuts? Maybe she's so confident that this guy isn't going anywhere that, she's just saying this. Who knows? Well, she's doing him a favor. Apparently they talked for an hour, and she said she felt awkward. But come on, they talked for an hour, right? Then I decided to check her phone and saw random text messages with her and the guy for a couple of months. Then I saw that she had called him at least one time in February. Should I be concerned? Smack! This was his first post until he handled it accordingly. Should he be concerned? You're with a known cheater. She's been talking to this guy for months, and she didn't mention that. She just mentioned she talked to him for 1 hour, and didn't mention she's getting married. Yeah, I'd be concerned. McFly. She promised she won't talk to him ever again, though, and that she blocked him for good. Yeah, sure. And that she would never cheat or do anything to hurt me. Well, she already has been cheating, and she's already been hurting him. She also mentioned the guy is now just a friend who she barely talks to. Barely talks to, he has records of her talking for months. He just keeps lying and lying and lying. See, guys, this is what they're like. I love her, but frankly, I don't feel the same trust. She said she's willing to show me phone records from now on. Am I overreacting? No. And then he updates, because obviously he came to his senses. He says, I canceled the wedding. Hallelujah. And told her I couldn't keep going up the relationship. Thank you all for your support and taking time to answer. Thank God. This is an example where Reddit saves the day, or people probably giving him a good piece of their mind, saying, wake up, McFly. Are you kidding me? But good for that. So, guys, once a cheater, always a cheater. If you are actually fortunate enough to have your girlfriend admit to you that she cheated on a previous boyfriend or boyfriends, because usually it isn't just one, take that as a blessing and walk away. Because I guarantee you, she'll do it again. Right here. Or they even get married and talking for months. Oh, awkward conversations, huh? And if he married her, we all know how the story would end. She's probably a serial married, whatever that word is. Not a serial monogamous, but maybe a serial bride. Where she gets with a guy long enough, has her fun with a guy in Ohio, and then takes the husband to the cleaners, gets divorced, finds the next sucker, marries him, gets his resources, takes him to the cleaner. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Now, he's going to go through some comments here, and he's going to reveal more information about her and the situation. He says here also, well, she actually confessed that this guy was one of 2 past cheating partners. Oh, she has multiple cheating partners. I was aware only of one. She still thinks this is not emotional cheating, and there's absolutely nothing between them at this point, but again, I do not agree. So in other words, he's dumping her, so she's like, oh shit, I gotta backtrack here. The fact that she didn't disclose the full truth, didn't support or validate my point, and tried to gaslight me was enough for me to walk away. Am I hurt? Hell yeah. Am I looking forward to going back to that crap show in the dating pool? No. But I will keep going. For now, I will enjoy peace by myself and my kids. Well, if you're enjoying peace, as in not dating, and the cesspool crap show that's dating, that's what he said, why don't you keep enjoying the peace with you and your kids? And at least he's not bringing this woman in to be the stepmother of the kids. Really. Because it is a giant cesspool. It is a giant hellhole, the dating market, the dating scene. And he's obviously has very bad choice of women. But thank God he ended with her. Another one. This guy says here, this is actually somebody commenting, and then he responds. This guy says, so why do you think she's been in recent contact with him and then today's long talk? What's her incentive? Why didn't she mention she's engaged during the earlier conversation? Was she still highly attracted to the man and wanted at least one more hookup? And why did she omit this information from her summary with you? Yeah, that's what I've been wondering the whole time. Why'd she tell this guy? To me, it sounds like a typical cheater selfishness, desiring more attention from two men, even better, and knowing she could do a shortcut with this guy because of their shared history. But you're the one who knows her, so I appreciate your ideas. And this is what he says. He says she had stated that he was a childhood crush, that when her marriage went to hell, she ran and cheated with this dude. I usually wouldn't entertain a relationship with someone who did this, so that's on me. Okay, at least he's admitting his mistake. After she had a few glasses of wine at dinner today, she casually mentioned that she talked to the dude. I asked calmly if she mentioned our engagement. No was the answer. Then we had quite a shit show at home where she called the guy to tell him that to not call her again. But I didn't buy it. It almost seemed fake. Well, it was fake. The guy called me insecure. Yeah, right. And asked her if I was getting married to her for a green card. He goes, I'm a Hispanic. She didn't even defend me, so after a long, long night, I'm sending her off in the morning. Good for him. And one more. This guy says, right now where you stand, you're getting married to someone you don't trust. That's not good standing for soon-to-be newlyweds. You need to think. Has she done something shady in the past to you? Was she the one who was quick to tell you that she'll block him, or did you come to the conclusion later? Did you demand it and she did it? There's plenty of other apps they could talk on. Right. There's plenty of apps she can talk on, or she could have another phone. I'd ask if I could talk to the guy myself, to be honest. Only if you were sure you get an answer over it. You couldn't get over it unless you did. Everyone is right. You should be worried. I'm a girl, and I don't know. I think it's weird she was talking to him. You're a girl. You ought to know darn well that's just what you do. I think there are some weird things she's doing, like maybe feeling rebellious. I don't know. It doesn't sit right. And not bringing you up, blah, 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 blah. And our guy here says, as far as I know, she hasn't done anything shady. She's been talking to him for months. That's something shady. We've been together quite a lot, and frankly, this came out of nowhere. What a freaking shock to me, and I'm not well. This guy definitely lives far away in another state, and she was the one that mentioned she would block him. When I said that was the least she could do, she called him and told him she was engaged, and she would rather not talk to him ever again. But it still doesn't provide closure. I mean, she could call him again and say whatever. And those were comments, obviously some after his first post. Then he had his update with, hey, I'm getting rid of her, canceling the wedding. So anyhow, guys, good for him. I'm glad Reddit knocked some sense into him. But for God's sakes, you find out a girl you're dating, no matter how cool she seems and how physically beautiful she is and does it for you in the bedroom, if you find out that she's cheated in the past or is cheating or something like that, get rid of her, move on. I don't care if you're lonely or this is the first good-looking girl to pay attention to. It's not worth having your life ruined over. But good for him coming to his senses in the end.